You'd be hard-pressed to find a guy more chill than the Sigma. Similar to the Alpha in many ways, the Sigma is confident, self-assured, and has excellent leadership skills. But unlike the Alpha, he doesn't enjoy confrontation, and he's more likely to diffuse any problems rather than exacerbate them. But he still gets mad too, right? Well, in today's video, we're looking at 11 things that happen when a usually cool, calm, and collected Sigma gets mad. Number 11. He listens and makes a note. The first thing the Sigma will do if he's in a conversation or situation with another person that's making him feel some type of way, as in mad as hell, is listen. He prefers to have all the facts about a situation before he decides to act or come to any potentially hasty conclusions. His traits include patience and understanding of others, as well as being an active listener. So he will hear out the other person if things get heated and make a mental note of what was said and done that he can refer back to at a later date. If it's more of a situation rather than a discussion, he'll do the same thing. He'll make note of all the facts that he can analyze when he's in a more secure, tranquil environment, without things that could cloud his judgments or manipulate his feelings. Number 10. He controls his emotions. One of the more telling traits of a Sigma is that he is a master of emotional control. This doesn't mean he ignores his feelings and neglects his emotions, but it does mean that he knows how to identify his negative feelings, analyze them, and turn them into something more positive and constructive. Getting mad and giving into those feelings of anger or frustration doesn't make anyone feel better, neither does it solve the issue. The Sigma prefers to concentrate on the things that actually matter and not let negative emotions like anger block his attention or throw off his focus. Instead, he'll allow those feelings to remind him of what he should be thankful for and use them as motivation to keep pushing forward. Number 9. He doesn't react. Despite being able to control his emotions, that doesn't mean he doesn't feel them. The difference is, while some people will instantly react in the moment, the Sigma chooses not to. He has an excellent poker face that has been well practiced throughout the years. He might feel mad inside, but he won't let it show, and he won't react. He knows that by doing so, he's likely to react irrationally or in a way that can make the situation worse somehow, especially if he's interacting with another individual. Because when you react in the moment, you're not thinking straight. So instead, he remains deadpan and neutral while continuing to be pleasant, and he'll politely excuse himself from the conversation or situation as quickly as possible. Number 8. He finds the humor. The Sigma doesn't take himself too seriously. After all, life is short, and in some scenarios, he may feel it's appropriate to diffuse any anger there and then with a good laugh. Finding the humor in a tense or heated moment helps to maintain a balanced perspective and to see how unimportant or insignificant some things are in the grand scheme of things, so there's no need to be mad at all. Of course, this all depends on the severity of the situation, but the Sigma prefers to live a life free from stress and drama. So if there's some funny to be found, he'll find it, diffuse the negativity, and all will be well. Number 7. He'll give the cold shoulder. If, however, things are bad and someone has got him justifiably mad, then he's probably going to dish out the silent treatment for a while. While extroverts often can't wait to give someone an earful when they're ticked off, the introverted Sigma wants to be left alone, just like when he's stressed or sad. He'll avoid talking to the offender in person or over the phone, at least until he's had time to assess his feelings and return to a more logical state of mind. This doesn't mean he won't make amends with the person in question at a later date, but he needs space from them until he feels he can forgive them or get over whatever negative feelings were brought to the surface. Number 6. He'll retreat to his safe place. Although he doesn't react in the moment, the Sigma will do eventually, in the right conditions. Just like most human beings, he needs to have a place where he can retreat to that makes him feel safe, comforted, and protected. Whereas some people prefer to neglect their emotions, the Sigma prefers to address them with a healthier approach. If he's feeling mad or irritated, he'll want to use his safe place for a number of reasons. Being able to retreat to this space allows him to take a break or privately vent any anger and rage, which increases mental strength. As a critical thinker, he can logically approach his emotional state and, importantly, address how he really feels without influence or pressure from an external source. Number 5. He'll meditate or be more mindful. We know the Sigma has an introspective, contemplative personality, and this is one of the reasons that having time on his own in a safe and comfortable place is so important to him. Being so introspective, many Sigma men like to practice meditation and mindfulness, finding these techniques particularly useful in stressful situations and in helping them to learn how to deal with future ones. They can recenter themselves and find the peace and strength to deal with the root cause of the stress more effectively. This also allows the Sigma to recognize the triggers that can rile him up and consider alternative ways to deal with them. Being aware of these means he is better equipped mentally and is less likely to fall prey to his emotions. Number 4. He assesses the situation. Unlike other men, the Sigma won't give in and surrender to his emotions right off the bat. Instead, he chooses to deal with things from an objective viewpoint. By stepping back and assessing what's going on, his rational, logical thinking nature means he'll take some time on his own to reflect on the situation, on patterns of behavior, to consider all angles, and even try to put himself in the other person's shoes, even if he's convinced deep down that they were in the wrong. The thing is, you never know if you are right unless you try to empathize. And as an empath, that trait comes easily to him. Number 3. He'll use work and exercise as a distraction. He won't curl up into the fetal position and stare at the wall, scream, shout, or make a scene, but he will go quiet for a while. The Sigma loves to throw himself into work, personal projects, and dedicate himself to fitness at the best of times. But when he's mad, he's especially likely to immerse himself in those things. It's almost a kind of meditation. He's living in the moment, directing all of his focus and pouring any negative energy into something productive and that will pay off later down the line. These are ways of channeling his anger and sometimes lets him avoid potentially negative or awkward conversations until he's had time to process how he feels and make that all-important assessment. Number 2. He carefully selects his response. When the Sigma has spent the required time that he needs to make an assessment, process his emotions, and deal with past events, it's time for him to confront the situation head-on. If it's someone he doesn't care for or know that well that got him mad, then there's a possibility that he won't ever contact them again, seeing it as unnecessary communication and potential further confrontation. On the other hand, if it's a relationship that is meaningful to him, then he will eventually want to respond, having the chance to defend himself and hopefully at the same time quashing any negativity and clearing the air. This is why he needs that space and time to reflect. When he responds, he wants it to come from an honest yet objective place. The Sigma is a guy who is easily able to diffuse even the most tense and aggressive situations, and it's easy to see why. Number 1. He lets go and moves on. The Sigma prefers to live a life of peace and tranquility. He likes to live in a state of positivity where he can focus on the things that bring him joy, success, and fulfillment. He doesn't consider himself a victim. No matter what life throws at him and whatever anger he may experience, he'll always find a way to accept things, resolve them, and move on. He focuses on what he appreciates, dwelling as little as possible on negativity and misfortune, and moves on with his life swiftly after he's resolved any issues he's felt needs resolving. Or not in some cases. Despite feeling mad from time to time, the Sigma always manages to keep a level head and will always learn to let it go. Nothing is worth truly sacrificing your peace for. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. And we'll see you next time.